Yo and hello everybody. Welcome to another episode 3 of Showcase Showdown, where I basically make Chris's collection look like a joke. And that's what it's been so far. Chris, you should be humiliated. I don't even know why you're bothering coming back on the show.
Well, Mike, I appreciate that video that you did a week ago or a few days ago. Put me in your dirty dozens of friends on YouTube. After this show, I might be out of that dirty dozen.
Because you think you can make a little comeback here, huh?
Oh, don't call it a comeback, baby. Don't call it a comeback.
First thing I want to do before we really get rolling is I want to thank Doug, who made our intro. He made several just to like, hey, try this, and I just picked that one for no other reason than it's just kind of funny to have something. And this is kind of like the cheesiest card game show you could ever have, right? And yet I have so much fun doing this. You and I obviously are completely having a great time with each other and just kidding around. Obviously, when we actually really do like each other, believe it or not. So, yeah, who we got today?
Well, I'm pretty excited about today because you're messing with a guy that is in the state that I live in. And so we got none other than Bob Gibson.
Bob Gibson. Wow. First of all, amazing career, amazing pitcher. His stats, I think, belie his greatness. As good as his stats were, I think he could have been even greater because the team around him for a lot of years was offensively inept, is the best way to put it. And I know you have a story about Bob Gibson, but I want to say that there's a documentary called Fastball, and it is an absolutely amazing documentary just about the progression of speed pitching in the game, going from Walter Johnson, Bob Feller, Randy Johnson, Nolan Ryan. It kind of progresses through history talking about the fastball. And if you can Google it and find it, you should absolutely watch it. And there is a piece in there, a section in there about Bob Gibson. And they interview him and his reputation of being this surly, mean guy. And he says, the truth was I needed glasses and I wouldn't wear them. And I had to squint to see the catcher's sign. So it looked like I was, snarling and making this mean face at the hitter. And everybody thought I was this mean guy. Now, he would throw at you. Don't get me. He'd put you on your back in a second and not think twice about it. Send you to the hospital with not losing a wink of sleep over it.
Right.
But he was not a mean guy. He was like, I can't see. I had to squint. So that's the thing I remember about that documentary. Absolutely great documentary. I highly recommend it. Chris, you got any Bob Gibson stories?
I have a couple of them, but people need to realize that he was the second person to get over 3,000 strikeouts. There was a lot of great pitchers between Walter Johnson and Bob Gibson that didn't reach 3,000 strikeouts, and Bob Gibson was the second one. And then another thing that I like to tell people is you would think that Bob Gibson and Sandy Koufax would have had an incredible match somewhere where they pitched against each other, because both were in the National League from 59 to 66. And they were both the ace of their staffs, but yet they never pitched against each other. They were going to, but I believe Bob Gibson broke a leg in pregame, or re-injured it. And Sandy Koufax pitched, but he got shelled in the first inning and didn't even make it out of the first inning. So everybody was looking forward to that matchup, and it just didn't happen. They were let down. So, and then the other thing is, what a tremendous athlete he was, huh?
Yeah, he played for the Harlem Globetrotters, if I remember right. Just what a great pitcher. Won an MVP in 1968. We'll show that card here in a little bit. Cy Young Award winner, just 1.12 ERA 1 year or something like that. Is that right? It's close.
Yeah, and
close.
Still lost 7 games or something.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's nuts. Again, his statistics could have been a lot better. I think nobody questions his dominance. And I never saw him play. That's a little bit just slightly before my time, but I certainly know the legend of Bob Gibson and respect the hell out of the guy for what he did. And kind of, Don Newcomb was kind of the first black, star pitcher, I guess, in the major leagues. Like not in general, Satchel Paige and all the guys from the Negro leagues, but to me, in terms of coming in, and he was that first. Maybe I'm missing somebody, but he stands out
Sure does.
as
And
being that just amazing, dominant guy in an era. He was the second best pitcher behind Koufax. You could argue once Koufax retired, he became the best pitcher in baseball, and you could even argue sometimes Gibson or Koufax, and you wouldn't be wrong picking either one. I wouldn't think. So, man, he's got cards from 1975 to 1959 or 75 to 59. We're going to make a couple changes. We keep tweaking every week or every time we do this. Not necessarily every week, but every time we do this with the scoring system, because realize a lot of you are playing along at home, and we don't want to just make it all about graded cards. So we've always had the rule where if you're playing along at home, we encourage that. Chris will say something about that in a minute, but 5 points for the card. If you just have it either graded or ungraded, 5 points for the card. And then you get an additional points for whatever the numerical grade is. And then the rookie cards will be worth double. So any final thoughts, Chris, before we get going?
No, what I suggest is pause this video. Go get all your Bob Gibsons out. Get them in order the way that from 75 to 59, and see if your collection can beat baseball collectors' collection as bad as mine's going to.
You are talking a lot of smack for a guy who's down 0-2, and it's not even close. So
you're right, but I had all the cards except the 63 Koufax. But yeah, your collection so far, but I feel it. I feel it today.
I hate to do this to you, but here we go. It's going to be embarrassing for one of us. I don't know. And then after we get done with Bob Gibson, we'll spin the wheel of names to see who we're going to do next time on the Showcase Showdown. So I'll start with 75. It's his last Topps card. I have that in a near mint 7. Love this card. I love the color. It feels like a very color matched card, which is not normal for 75, right?
Right. Now, you and I aren't stuck on grades. We're just using that here. But I want you to look at this 8 that I have.
Okay.
And I believe that this is the first time I've ever had the lead in Showcase Showdown.
It might be. Yeah, you might have the first lead ever. So the way we do it, that's 12 points for me, 13 for you. Congrats. You have a lead right now. Also in 75, you mentioned he threw his 3,000 strikeout. He has a highlights card in 75. And we'll just show kind of extra cards. Remember, we're only doing the basic Topps run or top basic PSA run, which may not include only Topps cards for any player, but there's that. That's a cool card.
I have the mini. I have the mini in that.
That's cool.
And I have the other one too, the one you had. I'm telling you, you're playing against a guy from Missouri.
All right, let's go. What's next?
Okay, 1974, and mine is in a PSA 8.
Son of a gun! I have a 6.
Wow.
His lead grows. So I got 11. You get 13 again.
Yeah.
3-point lead. 3-point lead. 73, my birth year. Great year. I have a PSA 5.
And I have a PSA 5.
Okay. Well, at least I didn't lose ground this time.
There you go. That's a neat portrait card of his that people kind of take for granted.
Yeah, he's starting to get those mutton chops going in these early 70s cards. It kind of cracks me up.
Okay, so now this is one of my favorite Bob Gibson cards because I love the 72 set. and I have mine in an SGC 6.
And I have a PSA 6. So, yeah, I love the design. Again, a simple portrait. So what's that, 11 for each of us? Okay. I have a 19. Once I knew we were doing Bob Gibson, Chris, I went out and I was like, what else do I need? And so I realized I was missing 2 cards from his basic run. I at least got one of them, and that's the 71 Tops. It's on the way. I've got a 5 on the way, and I'll let you decide if we can count that.
Well, being the most gentlemanly man on your dirty dozen, since you allowed me last week when we did Carl, or last time when we did Carl Yastrzemski, to count a card, I do believe you have 5.
I do.
That being said, I have an 8.
Jeez, that's an expensive card in an 8. All 71s are expensive in 8s and above.
Yeah, that's a great card. Okay, so it's my turn.
I feel like I'm falling way behind here.
Make sure you do the math on that and put that down.
Oh, I got it down.
Okay,
don't worry.
I've been unsure. I've been wanting to correct your work at times. I have a 1970 and a PSA 7.
Dang it! I have a 5. Do you love the? I mean, how hot must he be in Shea Stadium there, wearing that freaking, plastic undercoat or whatever he's wearing there?
A lot of his cards has that. A lot of his cards has that on there. And if you've ever been to Busch Stadium in the middle of summer, they keep a thermometer down there and it can get up to 130 degrees. It's crazy.
He's wearing that. Oh, in his next card, 69. I have that in a PSA 6.
I have it in an SGC 7.
Golly, I am getting whooped. I think PSA should count for more because,
Well, I mean, it's your show. You can change the rules. Make it where Mike wins.
Here's a 69 All-Star. Great card. I love the All-Star cards. Who am I kidding? They're all pretty great.
Here's the stamp, Mike.
Oh, yeah. Crooked as it might be. Okay. Did I go first or you on that one?
I think it's my turn to go first.
All right.
Okay. My 1968 is in a PSA 8.
I have a 7, Mm-hmm. Good grade, but not an 8. This is, his MVP year, Cy Young and MVP year. I think it's the only year that 2 pitchers won the MVP, Denny McClain and Cy Young, and Bob Gibson.
Okay.
Would you have an 8, you said? God,
I had an 8.
He also has a 68 All-Star, which is I love the smile he's got on that. And then he's got a 68 Gibson Hurls shutout World Series card there. Pretty cool. Just thought I'd throw those in there, a little extra.
Yeah, he had a lot of 69 league leader cards. I didn't get out to show.
Yeah, he had a ton. Like, I didn't pull out all of those either because there's a lot of them. Okay, my turn, 67. Let me make sure I got 68. I did. Okay. I only have a 4, so, and mine's way off center, but.
Well, another 8.
Jeez. Do I have to keep going or?
Well, I wanted to tap out when we did our first one with your incredible Sandy Koufax collection, but I figured I'd try to set you up today to let you feel what I felt. How about
I got to take my medicine. I can't dish it out if I'm not willing to take it. Right. So
that is correct.
Okay. Your turn. 66.
Okay. The 66. Beautiful card. Kind of like the Whitey Ford follow through almost. I have it in a 6.5.
And I have it in a 6. I don't think I've won a single card.
Is this going to be? Is this going to be start to finish?
It might be absolutely start to finish, butt whooping. I'm embarrassed. Here we go. Here's a 6 in the 65 tops for me.
Okay, take some back. I got a 3.
Man, I won a card. I feel like now this sucks being on this side of this, by the way. Golly.
Okay, so this card here, I had an 8 with an OC and a broken case, but I ended up picking up another 8.
Well, you're going to really whoop me. And I'm not sure I understand this. This is one of those cards that I bought because when I looked at it, couldn't see. I got a 4 MK, but I don't like. It's a really nicely centered card, great color, and I don't really know I can't find a mark. So I'm sure there is one. It's not. I don't mind buying cards like that. There's so many guys that'll avoid all qualifiers, and stuff like that. To me, it's, if it says MK, I look for it. Usually it's a kid, scribbling on the back, their initials or whatever. When I look at a card and I can't find the mark, I'm like, yeah, okay. That's really a 2 though for me. You had an 8.
Yes. But you and I, we always say, just collect the card, and and the grade doesn't mean a whole lot. I mean, today it means a lot to me because you and I are doing this. But when I try to pick up a card to look at it, I try not to look at the grade right away and try to put my thumb over it. And that thing being centered as it is, I like centered cards more. And of course, I want it to grade better. Of course, I want a higher grade, right. But I don't want that to be the main reason I'm going to get that grade unless I find a card that we're doing Showcase Showdown on soon. Then I'll get the highest grade I possibly can get.
Next up is 63 Fleer, which is a card I do not own, so I get 0 points. Do you have a 63 Fleer?
I do. Oh, I just dropped it.
Yep, that's half points if you drop the card. That automatic.
Okay, I have an 8.
Jeez, I'm starting to really like this. I'm wondering now. I'm thinking I'm going to go for the Hall of Fame run in 63 Fleer, just because I like them so much.
I have a friend that collected the 63 Fleer set, and when I saw his, boy, and I put those Hall of Famers by each other. They're good looking cards.
I'm about ready to call Uncle on this one, but let's finish it out because
63 tops, man, 8.
Killing me. I've got a 5. Got a PSA 5. Don't even know why I bother to show up to these things. All right. 62. I'm getting worse because I only have a 4 in the 62. This is a high number though.
Yeah.
So,
but you're glad to have it.
Not a cheap card, and I'm just glad to have a nice example.
So does I have an SGC, and I have mine in a 7.
Okay.
But my flip says high short SP, and do they do that on PSA?
No, they just expect you to know. Like, I don't think they would put that on a new SGC flip. That's the green flip,
But
I can't be sure, but that's interesting. Okay.
1961. You talking about somebody who looks mean right here?
Yeah, no doubt.
I have a PSA 7.
I have a PSA 5. What have I won? 1 card? Jeez.
Yeah, I won. That's not bad. You're hanging on though. You're hanging on.
Hanging on. Okay, great. It's 1960. Great card. I have a 5.5.
I have an 8 and an SGC.
Golly.
Oh,
Well,
upside down. There you go.
upside down, half points. Do you ever plan on converting your green flips over to the regular flip?
No, that doesn't.
No.
No, that
Just
that
curious.
doesn't bother me so much because I don't. I truly try to not. I mean, I don't. I want them to fit the same. So I want them to fit, and when I store them the same, and I just once I get them slabbed, I'm okay. I mean, I'm okay.
Okay.
Okay, you gonna
And
announce
last
the last
up, rookie, 1959. You get to go first on this one, or is it me?
Well, it's your show, baby. You tell me.
Well, I'm behind, so I love this card, but I only have a 3.
I have a 4.
Okay.
I also have a 3.
You have a 3 and a 4.
Yes.
Nice.
And yeah, so that wasn't that fun?
Yeah, that is great. Can we do that again soon?
With the Gibson?
No, I think that was enough of a butt whooping. You ended up just so everybody knows the final score for us. If you're playing along at home and you want to know, I had 180.5 points. Chris had 223.5 points. So I need to start I'm gonna go back and keep track, and we'll keep total points too.
Okay. Yeah.
You think that'd be fun to kind of know as we go through players?
I think so. Well, no, not really. I think we ought to just stop right here with the Gibson and call it, No,
wouldn't you like that?
Yeah.
Wouldn't
I mean, Gibson is a heck of one to collect, and I don't know. I think almost anybody would love your collection of Gibsons.
Well, and yours that's fantastic. I imagine you've had a lot of those for a long time because you live there, kind of thing.
Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah.
You could say that. It's just I don't know. I wasn't a big Cardinal fan growing up, but when I started to do player runs, and the ones in the PSA grades, most of those I've had for a long, long time.
Right.
But the ones in SGC or I picked up, and I don't know, at our shows in St. Louis, Gibson's pretty much available, and it used to, everybody was selling them, 10 years ago and stuff, and easy to pick up for me.
Well, let's get to the wheel of names here. Here's all the players that we haven't done yet. And I'm going to spin it, and that'll tell us who we're going to do on the next episode. All right, let's pick a winner here, Bobby. What's that from? Pick a winner, Bobby.
The Natural.
Right. Okay, let's pick a winner. Here we go.
Please don't land on one of these. Please don't land on one of these.
Uh-oh. Hey, we're going Cardinal to Cardinal.
Wow. Okay.
Next up, Lou Brock. Lou Brock gets removed. That is who we will do next time.
Okay. Are you sure you want another Missouri guy?
Look, I can't make the name or the wheel of names stop on somebody that I want it to. It's going to be what it is,
Okay.
You have a chance to tie it up next time. It could be 2-2.
I do have a chance to tie it up next time and look forward to it.
All right, my friend. Well, thank you so much for doing this. And everybody out there, thanks for playing along. Hope you had fun with it. And we'll talk to you guys soon. Keep collecting.